Amazing. So it's recording as of now, and I hope everyone is on. Perfect. Dax is on. Hey, Dax. Okay, so we're going to get started. I just wanted to thank you guys for joining us on Monday at 8 p.m., September 10th. How excited is everyone for freaking fall? Because I'm so done with summer, in with fall, in with cozy sweaters and cute shoes and jeans and all that good stuff. So as we all have discussed many times, the importance of mindset and the power of your mind. It can bring you up and it can most certainly bring you down. And I know for me, having a positive outlook and having a positive mindset really helps you in all aspects of your life. And my good friend Mike has joined us tonight. He's going to share a little bit about his journey and how he got to his true passion of helping everyone live their most optimal lives by creating like such a positive outlook and just really getting down to the nitty-gritty and inspiring us. So Mike and I actually go way back to high school. I'm a little bit older than Mike, but he picked up my best friend, we lost touch, and the universe brought him back into my life. He actually saw my NMD speech, and it just reconnected us, and it's crazy. We have similar paths and similar goals to really inspire everyone to live a much more fulfilled, positive life. So he's going to share his journey and his tips and tricks, and he might even sing for us if we're lucky.
We're unlucky.
Yeah. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Mike, and he can blow our minds for half an hour. Take it away, buddy.
You don't want to just listen to this song over and over and over?
Well, yeah.
So good. Well, it is. It's the power of music, right? It's unreal. I got to turn it off. Hold on. So distracting. Yeah, no, thanks very much, Sarah. Super excited to be here. Super thankful for all of your time. And what I'm going to do is, like Sarah said, just give a little chat about my journey. And I'm also going to touch on the mindset and mental discipline issues that have really helped me on that. And then I'm going to go into some very specific sales things that you guys can take away with you. But I just want to say that everything that I'm doing through this process, through this video call, through this webinar, is something that you guys can take with each of you and replicate in your sales calls or in your sales videos or in any sort of your sales process. And I'll explain a little bit more what I'm talking about as we go through it. But if you want to take notes or something, it might be a good idea, because the first thing you always want to start with is raising people's energy. And the best way to do that is through expressing a ton of gratitude. And I've raised my energy the last hour by having a cold friggin' shower, which was amazing, which I love to do, by pumping up some wicked music. But now by getting us all in the same state, I'm standing up. I don't think any of the rest of you are standing up. To me, that really helps me. So that may be something you want to use on your calls. But just by expressing gratitude, by here we are on a Monday night, September. We all had a great summer. We're all on this call because we're passionate about the work that we do, and you guys about the program that you're in and the sales that you want to do. Is this thing still working, Sarah?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, something just changed. But so that's what I want to do for every call I do, all my coaching calls. I always get into a good state. You want to get your energy up. And that way, the information transfers to your listeners, to the people that you're working with. So that's sort of number one. So a little bit about my story. So what my intent is, I'll talk about my story, I'll talk about the mindset, and I'll tell you about the couple selling items that you guys can take away at the end. And again, I really appreciate your time, and I hope this is very valuable for you. So yeah, after Sarah and I lost touch for couple years, 15 years. I did after Sarah and I were, linked up around the end of high school. I went off and did the university thing, did engineering, did a second master's engineering degree, came out to Vancouver. I've worked as an engineer, as consulting engineer. I do coastal engineering, so I specialize in waterfront projects. So I did that for 12 years. For 12 years, sort of at the beginning of, it was 12 years at the beginning of this year. And it was great. It was a great, wonderful, highly privileged, incredible life here in Vancouver. I'm looking out at the city right here. And I got married. Rebecca and I met each other about 12 years ago. We were together 6 years. We were married for 6 years. Today, didn't really plan it this way, but today would have been our 7th anniversary right today.
Wow.
But it's not, because our marriage unexpectedly to me ended last November. And so that was incredibly hard. I was not driving the bus. And so it was completely unexpected. You're on one trajectory in life, and it was pretty good, right? She had a job, I had a job, we're in Vancouver, we're working, we're doing our things. And then all of a sudden it's gone. So that was last November, and that was hard. That was my low point. 100%, absolutely. It actually, not to get too personal here, but there's a couch right here to my left where this all went down 10 months ago last November. But after a couple weeks of, walking around Vancouver with my hood on in the middle of the night in the pouring rain, crying everywhere, I made a decision that I was not going to live like that anymore. I was like, how could I exist at a sort of, pretty content, pretty happy life like this? And then some external event happened, and now I'm down here in the shit. So I'm like, if that can happen, like, why can't I bring it back up? Why can't I undo that? Why can't I recover? Something else can happen to bring me down here. That must be something I can do to get back up there. So that's what I did. I made a decision that I'm not going to live my life down here. Because I remember one night, I'm like, how do people live like this? That's how horrible I felt. And the fact is that a lot of people don't, and they can't. And that's where all those horrible stories that we hear about come from. And I wasn't going to do it. I was going to make this work. So I made a decision. I made a decision to do my best to try and recover. And how did I do that? I learned, I listened, I got advice from my friends and family. I read everything I could about relationships and mindset and happiness and thinking differently and positivity mainly. And that helped. That helped a lot. So through November, December, I started to see some changes. Through January, February, I hired a life coach of my own, and that's when things really started to change for me. And not only did I get back up to where I was before, but I was having these instances of pure bliss, full on. I was reaching higher levels of consciousness. I was fucking flying. And don't get me wrong, like not every day was like this, and that's why I got this tattoo of this wave. Some days we're at the crest, some days we're at the trough, full on. But the highs, let me tell you about the highs. It was so gorgeous. And so what happened was, through this, I was going through a massive transformation, and it was beautiful, and it was really good, and there was a lot of good going on, and it was so good that I had to share it. So I started sharing it with my friends. I was in Victoria at the time. I started sharing it on Instagram with my friends, and then I made, at a certain point, I made my account public and just started sharing it with whoever. And it started to resonate, and people started to feel my message and feel my energy through Instagram. It's incredible. And what happened was, towards the end of April, through working with my coach, she sort of helped me continue to get through some hard things. And she helped me realize that I was also a coach of my own. And that was, you know, something that I had never realized, right? I thought I was an engineer, and that's the thing. I'm doing engineering, right? I'm going to the end. And so that was a big breakthrough for me. May and June and July, I finished the project I was working on in Victoria. May, June, and July, I did a trip through Central America, and it was the most incredible time I've ever had. It was like this beautiful personal boot camp where I did meditation, I did yoga, I did exercise, I ate well, I went surfing every day. But also at the same time, I wrote a book about this whole process, which is super exciting. So just working on the first draft of that. But I also launched a coaching business, but at the same time, I was continuing to work on all this personal development. And, and now I'm back in Vancouver, and that brings me back here to North America, where I'm, putting all together and continuing to share my story. And also do things like this, do speaking engagements like this. So what I wanted to share that you guys can take with you, that I think may be helpful if for any reason you guys are stuck somewhere in your life, if you're stuck somewhere in this business, in your journey on this business, if you're looking for a couple ways to break through in your business here, if you're looking for a little extra motivation, I wanted to share a couple things that I worked on throughout this process, sort of in February and March of this year, to really focus on my mindset, which is really the key to everything. So number one thing is self-limiting beliefs. You probably heard this a bunch of time out there if you hear the buzzword. But for me, it was just that. It was I thought I was an engineer. I thought I was I wasn't always like this. I thought I was a grumpy curmudgeon dude, and that was just the way I was. But through working with my coach, don't laugh, Sarah. Through working with my coach, she helped me see, that this was inside. She didn't tell me to do this. Not a chance. She helped reveal and pull this out of me. This was always in me. So when I showed up May 1st, when I landed in Nicaragua on this trip, I was like, I'm a life coach, I'm a writer, I'm a speaker, and that's how it's going to be. So I got over that blocking belief that I was on just one trajectory, just as as an engineer doing this sort of life. The point is that anything's possible, and you can break through and blast through those blocks. It's fully possible. Another thing she really helped me with. So number one is self-limiting beliefs. Number two is insecurities. If there's anything you're insecure about in your day-to-day lives or through this business, you got to just put it on the table. Number one, put it on the table. At a certain point, she asked me, what are your insecurities? And the first thing I said was, I'm 5'7". It's my height. It's always been a thing for me. My best buddies are all 6'2". But as soon as I said that and wrote it down, I'm like, that's fucking bullshit. Like, it's nothing. I'm not short. Even if I was, like, it doesn't matter, right? It's just, this is who we are. This is our thing. But the whole process of even saying it and writing it down, it's over. I'm over it. It's it. Number three, excuses. And then this is super huge if you guys are trying to get to the next level in your business or in your life or anywhere with your health, your wealth, your mindset. Excuses. And I'm not saying I'm over excuses, but I work on excuses every day. What you have to do is to really push yourself to the next level is become an excuse detective, where you can catch yourself making excuses for your bullshit. And to develop that mindset and to develop that skill becomes super, super powerful. So if you want to get somewhere in your business, but you can list off 6 reasons, 6 excuses why you can't, then that's great. List them out, write them down, and then realize that they're all just excuses, cross them out, throw out the piece of paper, and then just get on with your work. Make it happen. And it's super great process to go through that and write it out, get it on the paper, and just throw out the piece of paper, burn it if you want to. Number 4 thing on mindset, what you can become conscious of to really propel yourself to the next level is fears. They're real, right? And again, to go through the process of talking to someone about them, to writing them down in a journal, whatever it is, what are your biggest fears in this business, in this work, in your life, in your health, in everything, because they're there. They're the underlying tremble of all the things holding us back. For me, I mean, my early on, it was super fun. This stuff, if you look back in April, the things I was posting, you know, just putting my whole heart out there, right? And same thing Sarah did in her incredible talk earlier this year. It was freaking scary, but I had this pull to do it, and I knew I had to do it. And so I'm writing out these things and on Instagram, right? And they're long, they're kind of fun, but I would go to press the send button or the share button, and I'd just be thinking of a couple specific one of my friends that are going to be like, what the hell is this, right? And it's scary. And then I'm just like, forget them, right? You just got to get over that fear of what they're going to think, and I just fuck it, right? Just fuck it, right? This is us. This is what we have to get over, and it just feels so good now. And to get over those fears, they're the things I was scared about in April. Like, forget it. They're just little speed bumps now. So those are 4 things on mindset. I wanted to touch on, we only got 10 minutes left or so. So I wanted to give you guys 5 tips on selling that maybe you can use in your calls and your video calls or your day-to-day interactions with people that may be super helpful. Again, the number one thing is gratitude and energy. So that's sort of 1 and 2. You have to get into a state like this. You have to be pumped up. You have to be thankful to even be in front of them, to have this opportunity to sell them a great product that you guys have. And that resonates. That's number 1. You have to be thankful to even have that opportunity to be there with them. And through that, it raises your energy. You get pumped up. People feel your energy. It works. People don't want to be sold over a video like this to someone who's tired, holding their head up at the end of the day. It doesn't work. That's not motivating. That's not inspiring. It doesn't work. So that's 1 and 2, gratitude and energy. Number 3, you have to have a true belief in the product. Like right now for me, the coaching, I'm the product. But it's working and it's going really well because I know I have something really good. And that feels really good. I'm really thankful to have that and have that clarity. But I'm confident when I sell my services, my coaching, because I have a belief that it can actually help people. So if you don't believe in your product, it's never going to work. And maybe you don't. And if you can, I don't think that's the case, and I hope it's not the case. But if you have a different product or a different something that you're selling elsewhere, maybe that is the case, and maybe that's why it's not working if that's the case. But you have to truly believe that your product is going to help people. Number 4, you have to follow up with people a lot, and then more, and then 10 more times. It's not easy to sell. People are parting with their money. People like their money. I like my money. I don't like giving it away. But it takes a couple, and follow up doesn't have to be annoying either. It can just be touching base with your prospects, right? But you have to follow up. You can't just expect one call is going to make the sale come through. Number 4, you got to use your tools. And Sarah's going to mention something at the end of this, I believe, that talks about tools. When I talk about tools, I'm talking about social media. I'm talking about Instagram. I do about 50% of my business over Instagram. That's just one of the tools. You guys probably have a few other ones. And they work. And if some of your sales paths aren't working right now, maybe you need to pivot and try something completely new and take a new direction, or try that whatever avenue you're taking, try a different way to get there. Because these tools out there, these phones, if you use them properly, they really, really do work. And if you're on Instagram, if you're doing that thing, for example, you gotta, and again, one of the scary fears that I had to overcome was doing video. But video on Instagram is 100 times better than just doing a picture or just a quote or any of that thing. People need to connect with you. and they need to trust you, and they need to value you. Yeah, we only have a few minutes left. So take those 5 things with you. Hopefully they are useful. Oh, you still there?
Yeah, we're here. Sorry,
okay.
I had myself muted.
All good.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, I mean, I could talk all night, but I think you guys have to go. The last thing I wanted to say was, let's just do a little experiment now. I'll show you one thing that we can do. So you guys have your phones. So take a phone, take a picture. Take a picture of the screen. I'm gonna take a picture of Sarah taking a picture of me. I'm gonna put a little whale in the background too, it looks cool. So take a picture. So what you can do, and this is for, oh, you're smiling really nicely, Sarah. Oh, I've got to redo me. All I can see is a phone in my face. There we go. Okay. So what you can do, so what we have a picture, you screenshot it, you go to Instagram, you go to story, you put that picture on there, and you tag me, thank you. And I'm not, do you guys have like an Instagram thing for your team? Not yet?
Not really. Like we can hashtag certain things, but yeah.
So we can do this after the call, but like this is just one example of marketing, getting your name out there. So it would be wicked if you guys could do that. Tag me, Michael.Tranmer. My name's up here, so I'm Michael.Tranmer. Tag me on your story. And that's just one example of this is just free marketing, right? It just goes out there, say we're doing a Juice Plus call and things like that work. So that's just one example of tools that you can use. And the last thing I wanted to say for anyone that's on this call right now, I'd love to tell you guys more. Like I got a lot of things to say. I've been building up this coaching business for like the last 4 or 5 months. So I'm doing all the same things you guys are doing, trying to sell, trying to do all the tips and tricks. And I've got a whole pocket full of them. So if you send me a message on Instagram, Michael.Tranmer, send it today. We can do a 1-hour call for free sometime later this week. It'll be super fun. Send me a message. Say you're on the call, assuming you had fun. If you didn't, well, you can let me know. I appreciate all feedback. The only thing I ask in return, and this is going to help you get over some of your fears, perhaps it'll also help you for your social media as well, trying to learn some new skills. The only thing I ask in return is, and if you feel it's appropriate after our coaching call to help you with your sales, if you give me a video testimonial.
Cool.
And again, so everything we've gone through, everything that I've said, all of this, you guys can use in your sales. So getting video testimonial from people is number 1. So if there's anyone on this call wants to talk for an hour later this week, yeah, for sure do that. It'd be super fun.
Awesome. That's awesome, Mike. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
I love it. Does anyone have any questions? Crickets? Mike, can you give Brandy some advice? Her 17-year-old son is sleeping with his girlfriend and lying down.
Oh my gosh.
What?
At the sailing club.
No, they're not having sex. They just slept there.
What's the problem then?
He lied.
He lied to who? You?
Me. Yeah, I caught him though.
I'm just kidding. You don't need to get into that. But I just thought
I was just so proud of him for having sex.
No.
No? Sorry.
That's not happening.
You'll beat him, Brandy. Awesome.
No, but this 17-year-olds aren't really my sweet spot, but if you've got some grumpy husbands or something, send them my way on Instagram. Like I put up something every day, and
Yeah, Mike's content is amazing. I put his in our chat where you can follow him, and like your videos are awesome. So the fact that you said that you know that was one of your fears, that's actually something that this September, it's, you know, a new month. I'm really going to try to step out of my comfort zone because I hide behind social media, like with pictures and pretty quotes. And like you said, that's how people at the end of the day, we know guys are buying us. You know, we know our product is amazing, but they're buying it from us. So the more they know about us, the more, you know, people will probably connect to you and reach out to you for more information. And I love the follow-up piece, because you guys know how much we've been hammering home lately how important it is to follow up. Ali Schneider did that amazing training on following up, and they say it takes 7 interactions with someone, and that's you know that's a lot. Sometimes I've had like 10, 12, but you know, a no isn't no necessarily. It's just no, not right now. And you never know, people's lives can change, right? So follow up is so important. I love that. I'm really going to try to step out of my comfort zone and do some more live videos.
I'll be watching.
So
I did have something to say though, when you were saying believe in your product, but we are the product. So we have to have belief in ourselves to be able to share anything. So just wanted to make sure like everybody heard that. Like that was a huge message.
And that's, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, so Mike, we were just talking about tools. Some of you guys know that I've been working with an Instagram company. They've offered, you know, to allow me to have some discounts on my front line. So 50% off your first month. I'll have to go double check, but it's super awesome. They do all the work for you. They do an audit of your account. I have a prospect in Augusta, Georgia, and I have a prospect now in the UK that I have a 3-way call with Jen on Wednesday night. And I have had 3 sales and probably about 10 reach outs. And I've only been using it a month, and I've had no you know interaction with anyone on Instagram before this. So to me, the $89.99 was the basic package, and I got a discount on it. You guys would get 50% off. Is a no-brainer, even to just try it out for a month. Like Mike said, he's built his business through Instagram, and we all know that there's tons of algorithms going on Facebook. Instagram is the new way to be. Yes, you can do like fun quotes and pictures and stuff, but Instagram stories are a really cool tool. But you need new people watching, right? So the Instagram company, I've posted in the chat, and I'll also put the discount codes in the chat as well for the 50% off. So it's Sarah Fit 50 is the code if you guys want to try it out. It's super cool. Like I said, I have 2 prospects, and I love that the fact that I'm not chasing people, they're coming to me. It makes me feel so much better about it. Yeah, I love it. It's such a great feeling. Like this girl, she's like, you're so inspirational. I want to be on your team. I was like, okay, where are you? She's like, I'm in the UK. I'm like, oh my God, even better. Because you guys know how Juice Plus really gives us bonuses and stuff for building outside of our own country, and I think that's super cool, and the UK is just blowing it up. So you never know. Use the tools that we have. So anybody else have any questions before we go? Mike, I just wanted to say thank you so much. I have gratitude for you immensely. You know, you're such a, you know, good heart and good person, and I love your message. You're so inspiring, and
thank you.
Even though we hadn't seen each other for many, many years, it's like we had just kind of picked up where we had left off. You definitely have a very impactful story and an amazing message. And fuck, man, we have one life. We really only have one life, and I love that you are just grabbing it by the balls and living it and, you know, helping others do the same. So thank you so much for your time. It means so much to me. And I know my team was pretty pumped to have you on. So super awesome. You guys follow Mike, send him a message, get that free an hour.
See my new, I just made some bumper stickers. Can you read that or is it backwards?
No, it's perfect. I love it.
Just make your own, guys. These are friggin' cool. Put your Instagram on. Just copy and paste. Make your own.
That's hilarious. I'm totally making my bumper stickers now.
The one comment, I lost my train of thought when we were talking about belief in yourself. I totally blanked out, but that's a totally great point. And the thing that really works in the belief in yourself, that's where sharing your personal story really comes through. Because somewhere along the line, you guys came across this product. It helped you. You have to start with the story and you have to connect with the people and you have to move the people. You got to move them.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, you know, Mike has used his darkness, you know, to be the light. And when I shared my story, I never imagined 1,000 years, you know, when I was going through addiction, when I was going through eating disorders, when I was going through a divorce, you know, at 20, did I ever think that those things would be something that would be inspiring people. So, you know, trust and just have gratitude for everything that's happened in your life and use it to better yourself and to inspire others, because your darkness doesn't have to be dark. It can be, you know, it can turn to your light and be other people's lighthouses. So with that, I will end the recording. This is recorded so we can share, and I'll share with Mike. But thank you again so much, Ben. I love it.
You're very welcome. Yeah. Thank you all. I'm just going to inspire you with the view of Vancouver before we go. It's amazing right now.
I love it.
All right.
Awesome, guys. Hop on the other team call.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Mike. Love ya.
Cheers. Love y'all.